This is Steven Diego, and you're tuned in to Breaking Down the Breakdown. On today's episode, we have Stephanie talking about self-love.
Hello, everybody. How is everyone doing today? I'm sorry I'm on hiatus, or I was on hiatus, but things were going on in my life, and it was kind of crazy, just family stuff and some really weird stuff with myself, which is what brought me to today's episode. Welcome back to Breaking Down the Breakdown, guys. Today I have a super duper special guest. I have not known this girl for a long time, but it sure as hell feels like I do. Yes, it's a good thing. Don't worry, guys. We have Stephanie in the house. Hello.
Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for doing this. Honestly, literally, we decided to do this. I decided to do this 7 minutes ago, and I convinced her to do this 2 minutes ago. So, this is great. This is going to be fun. But it's very interesting because I guess it's just funny how things work out. Because these past few weeks, I've actually been dealing with a lot of, let's say, the lack of something that you have a lot of, which is self-love. And I feel like a lot of people deal with that on a daily basis, and they don't even realize it. They don't even realize that majority of their, I don't want to say problems, but I would say issues. Sorry, for me, issues and problems are very different. You can have an issue but not have a problem with things. It's just, I don't know. Dictionary people, you can correct me on that, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But for me, a lot of issues arise when you stop loving yourself in some ways, you could have some love for yourself, but if you don't love yourself fully, it's kind of like making a half-assed decision, right? Mm-hmm. And so this is why we have Steph today, because it is super unusual to find somebody who has a lot of that. I don't mean that in a bad way. I think it's amazing, and I really think that everybody strives to be at the level of, awareness and self-love that you have for yourself. And for me, and I guess the listeners and viewers, what we want to know is how. But don't worry, we'll get to that. It's not going to be tell us how, and then it's yeah, okay, sure. But I do have to know. Hello, Stephanie. How do you do?
I'm doing great.
I'm pretty loud, so just make sure you speak as loud as me, okay?
I will.
I think important questions every time I come across somebody who seems super confident, which I'm guessing you are, right?
I wouldn't say I'm super confident, but I'd say I'm proud of myself, and I think everyone should feel that way. I think that's where my sense of confidence comes from. Yeah. It's I'm proud of who I am, and I think if everyone just taps into what do you love about yourself, why are you proud of yourself? For me, I think I'm a good person, and I think I have strong morals. So that is kind of what drives my confidence, right, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to friendships, when it comes to work friendships. I know that I'm providing value. I'm a great person, and why would anyone leave me? I'm a great person. I'm a great partner.
I hate you for saying that, but I am so happy that you feel that way about yourself.
Yeah, I think everyone should feel that way about themselves. You really have to have the amount of confidence and the pride in who you are to know that it's someone's loss if they were to leave you.
Now, you see, you brought up so many points, and I kind of have to just skirt, reverse, because we want to talk about all those things. But the very first thing that you said you don't really see yourself as confident, but rather you just...
I'm proud of who I am.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to me because I've always associated pride with confidence in some ways, right? Mm-hmm. And I think it's really refreshing hearing it from somebody who is you know, somebody who claims they're not really confident as so much, you know, they do love themselves and they're proud of themselves, right? Because it's very different. And the energy that you give off when you say that, I can hear a lot of people say the same things you just said, and it will come across as, oh, they are so goddamn conceited. But I think it does show, and it's weird. Like, I don't know if you believe in energies. I don't know if listeners,
oh, yeah, for
right,
sure.
right. Like, I know it's coming from a place of love for yourself, and I think it's great, you know. And I'm glad I'm experiencing this. Like, it's funny because Steph and I have been friends for a bit, but we never really got into like
deep stuff.
Yeah, like deep stuff,
yeah.
right? Like we've gotten to like, you know, like things in her past, things in my past, but never about our individual selves, right? Never about things that we've gone through on our own, right? Because everybody has that. Like, we all have our journey that we take with ourselves. And, you know, most of us are still going through that. I'm still going through it, you know, and I'm sure Steph is going through it as well. But this is actually the first time that Steph has opened up about these things, and it makes sense to me now why it's so easy to talk to you. Because, yeah, you know what it is? It's funny, like, this whole episode is going to be like, let's praise Steph. No, I'm kidding.
Not make it
no,
like that.
I'm totally kidding. No, but you know what? It is important to give credit where credit is due, but... And I really hope that people who are listening to this right now or even watching this really take a page from you, because I don't know if you guys have ever had a friend who is like Steph, in a sense that every time you talk to them, when they do give you advice or when they're there for you, you know, and like nothing about it is condescending, nothing about it seems kind of like, oh my god, I'm so ashamed to tell this person this because they might judge me like that, right? And I think a lot of that really does come with you and your self-love. And the way that you said it, where you just wish that everybody could see that about themselves. Mm-hmm. I think it's great. And I think if, you know, a lot of us, we try so hard to love ourselves, you know, majority of the time because of what you said. With the whole relationship thing about how, like, oh, I know, like, people are never gonna leave me and stuff like that, right? But a lot of the times we kind of try to find that self-love because of that, because we don't want people to leave us anymore. We try to find our, you know, like, self-confidence because we don't want to be hurt when people do leave us, or when people do or say things that could potentially harm us, right? And this is where I kind of want to ask, because for me, especially these past few weeks, I've kind of lost my self-confidence a bit just because of, you know, and it was all me. Like, it was all my fault. Like, I've met people and, you know, they got what they wanted, and I'm really bad at reading cues, not realizing that, you know, like, oh, I guess maybe I just said too much, or maybe just the way they act, because it's hard to be friends with me. It truly is. Like,
no, it's not.
It's not because, girl, you and I don't speak all the time.
Okay.
When we talk, right? But, you know, I'm one of those people where I can be too much. And that's just who I am, right? But there comes a point where when things like these happen, where people end up leaving and I'm the common denominator, I think it's time to stop blaming other people for it and start taking accountability. Now, taking accountability took my self-confidence away because it made me realize that, well, shit, all of this time I've been blaming other people for my shortcomings, rather than just sitting there and really just saying, hey, Steven, you know, like, maybe if you had just practiced some sort of self-love or whatever, you wouldn't feel so inclined to be this needy towards other people, regardless of what they were, just friends, more than friends, or whatever, you know, like, because I just kind of give off that energy that, yeah, I want to talk to you all the motherfucking time, I'm going to talk to you all the motherfucking time, and it's like, it's almost as if I don't know space. And that actually is deeply rooted with my own idea of self-love, or my lack of that, because I always have felt like if I had just stopped talking to people, like my friends, if I just stopped saying hi or whatever, they'll stop saying hi to me and they'll eventually forget about me. And that to me is like the saddest thing. Like, it gets lonely out here, especially in COVID times, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I feel like this is the perfect time for you to be on this show, because then you could maybe shed some light as to how you do it.
Well, first of all, I think you should really commend yourself on having the self-awareness to like see both sides of a story and like admit your flaws and like think about them. I don't think a lot of people do that type of self-reflection. Like, you should be proud of yourself for having that quality. You know, it's so rare. Some people are just assholes and they'll never know that they are. Like, you actually take a step to think about, like, am I the common denominator? Like, how many people in the world actually do that? So, I get what you mean by, you know, trying to, maybe your lack of self-love and trying to find it within others. And you're right, it starts from you. So, you know, you really got to write a list of like what you love about yourself and the things that you don't, and try to improve those things and really be happy with who you are, just by yourself, without anyone, you know, having that.
For you, like, do you do that on a regular basis, or you do that every now and then, where you've written a list of things that you do like about yourself and things you don't like about yourself and have improved on them?
No, like, I don't write a list because I've always kind of been this way. Like, I've never really had issues with self-love.
That's okay, hold on. Let me stop you right there, because damn, I wish all of us were like that.
I know, I wish it too, but like, I'm not saying I'm perfect. Like, no. I look at my body sometimes, I'm the biggest I've ever been right now, and I, you know, but I still, you know, I want to eat healthy, I want to work out, but it's not like I'm disgusted with myself.
I like that.
Yeah, but it's also bad because, like, I never have the motivation to get a super nice body with like 6-pack abs, because I've always just loved myself.
But I really honestly feel like that is more important than having a 6-pack abs or whatever. Like, I am working so goddamn hard to get a really sexy body and stay fit, because I feel like I will never attain what you have, and that is peace of mind and love with yourself, no matter what you look. Because I've always associated, you know, acceptance from other people because of my body. And it doesn't help now that, you know, I'm doing all of these sexy things, right, trying to like make stuff. It really doesn't help that, no, the thought comes to mind where, what if my body just, you know, like, let's say I take a day or two off from the gym and my body just isn't like this anymore. Then I can't post anything anymore. People won't want to talk to me anymore. I won't, you know, and it's things like that where it's like, it makes me wonder, like, how important is that over my peace of mind, over really loving the fact that this is my body and that's it. This is what they'll get. If they don't like it, they don't like it, because I love it. You know?
Yeah, that the thing is, like, you have to win people with your heart. Like, you have to leave an impression on them with your aura, with your person, with your heart. It's not about the body. So you've nailed the body part. Like, you have like the best body, but now you just have to like give that much love and attention and discipline to your heart.
Girl, you say like it's so easy because
you
do it.
I know.
I do have to ask, how was it like, I mean, your upbringing? Because I feel like a lot of the times it starts from there. How are your parents like?
Angels. Like, my mom and dad are the sweetest people. Like, the best parents ever. I am a people pleaser though, because they are so nice. Like, I'm too nice sometimes.
There's no such thing as too nice stuff.
I know, that's what I'd hope.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to have to change, but there's been so many cases where I'm not as I'm not assertive enough in some
Okay.
work situations. So that's something that I need to work on, like fighting for myself.
Right.
So by no means am I saying I'm perfect at all, but yeah, I think my upbringing was really great. My parents were really nice people, and I learned that from them, like kindness.
Right.
Kindness to others, but also kindness to yourself.
Shit. You know, I guess it doesn't help that, you know, my upbringing was like, no offense to my parents, you know, I love them all. And I say all because I have multiple, right? But I guess, you know, growing up as a child in a sort of broken home, you know, where it's just chaotic. And, you know, I guess it is different if you do grow up in a third world country, or like in, you know, in a setting where I don't want to say poverty is like apparent, right? Because I didn't grow up like that. Like, you know, I was in the Philippines, but at the same time, you know, like the family that raised me, I mean, they were okay. You know, we weren't struggling or anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, there is a huge lack of parental figure some days. You know, like I had my grandpa and I had my grandma, right? But they had to work, right? I get home, they had 2 other kids that lived with it. You know what I mean, right? It's one of those things where it was hard. It was hard. But I get that. Okay. So I guess it does make sense. I feel like having parents like yours kind of solidified the fact that, hey, you know, like, if they're this kind towards other people, maybe I should be this kind toward myself as well. Seeing how other people felt when you were able to give that kindness towards them.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. I think that is super important. And, you know, guys, I'm not saying to blame your parents if if shit is not in your court right now. If you're feeling all like insecure all the time and you don't love yourself, it is not about that. I'm saying shit has already happened. Let that go. But if your parents right now, if you are, you know, in the process of being a parent, if you already are a parent, or if you're planning on having children, why don't we take a page from what Steph just said, and then maybe we can eventually raise children kind of like Steph. And, you know, it's like what Steph says. She's not perfect, right? She obviously has her flaws, but we are not here to talk about flaws or her flaws right now. We are here to talk about what makes her great and what everybody potentially could do to make themselves feel like they are great as well. You feel good? Yeah? You're like, you're like, yeah, that's it. That's it. I just, you know, that was... What's interesting for me is, and I'm not trying to air out dirty laundry or anything like that, but...
What dirty laundry?
Okay, so Steph has a lot of friends.
I do not.
A lot of friends who are guys.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she barely has friends who are girls. And I'm saying she's friendly, and I'm saying she has acquaintances, you know, like, she knows a lot of people, but I'm talking about circle-wise, right?
Mm-hmm. I only have, like, one close girlfriend.
Shout out Jules. I don't know if
Shout
you're, right? I
Yeah.
don't know if you're watching or listening. Let's play League sometime, please. Carry me. But it's interesting for me to hear that, because do you feel like there's almost like a wall? Because I know you, and like what I said, you're so easy to talk to. You know, like when you came to my housewarming party, you know, like everybody loved you. They're like, oh my god, your friend Steph. Oh my god, your friend Steph. And to me, it's like mind-boggling. Right? Like, does it boggle your mind as well?
It's honestly like missteps I took in my life. Like, I wish I knew back then when I was in high school and in junior high that these are the people that like you could be friends with for life. Like, make the most of this time.
Mm.
Or when I was in university, I made a couple friends, but like I'm so bad at keeping in touch, and I wish I did that work. But you know, my life is not perfect. I had at my work we have like an in-house therapist, and she made us do this wheel where there was like a circle and pie pieces, and then let's say one pie was career, one pie was money, one pie was relationship, one pie was intimacy, one pie was I forget, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get.
And then you had to color in like how great you felt about that thing. So ideally, you color your whole wheel and it's like a perfect circle. But obviously, like nothing's perfect. So, other categories were like family, friends. Okay. So like friends, it's like a smaller piece because I wish I had more friends that I was close to. Right. Career is really good. Career is going great, and that really like makes it easy for me to see, what I can work on or what I can try to make my life feel more complete. Like, am I active right now? Like, how's my health, and like, how's my relationship?
Right.
And, it was an interesting activity for sure.
It kind of like opened your eyes to certain things.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I wish I did have more close friends, right. But if I had to still evaluate how my life is, I'm still so happy. Like,
of course.
I have a great relationship. Right. I'm like so lucky to be employed during COVID. Yeah. The friends that I do have, like the small circle, I love them to death. Right. So like I can't really complain about anything.
I think I just wanted to touch up on that because I feel like there is a connection with, and I'm not saying it was a bad thing that you love yourself, or it's a bad thing that, you're proud of who you are and you're happy with who you are. But for majority of us, I feel like many of us have different groups of friends because we kind of do lack that with ourselves. That we feel like if one group is not there, we have to go find different groups. It's almost like different outlets, right? And it's because of the lack of self-love that we have for ourselves, we feel like we're more dependent on other people. And I think, I feel like maybe for you that never happened because you never really had that need to go seek out others. Right? So like, and I'm saying this to you because I want you to realize that, like you, the friend, this is why the friends that you do have, you make great relationships with, because you are a great friend to have, right? And it's one of those things where I get why it's almost like, oh damn it, like I wish I had more girlfriends or whatever. But at the end of the day, I feel like it was more so their loss. Remember what we said, it was like a two-way street, right? I know you felt like sometimes, maybe you wish you would have tried harder to keep those friendships. But I really feel like if you had done that and you are still friends with these people, it would be to your detriment and to their benefit because they're... No. I'm just saying, because they're getting a lot... You know what I mean? Like, the kind of person you're very nurturing, right? And I actually really think it's great that it happened this way because you are able to focus on your happiness. That now that you are actually set on who you are as a person, and like you're really, your self-love is really kind of like cemented in you now, I think now is the time to be able to meet new people because I don't think you'll ever be burnt out from being available to all these other new people now.
I've always been this way though. Like nothing has changed. Like Steph from like 2007 is still the same Steph like sitting here.
Which is great, and that's what I'm saying. It's amazing, right? But like I'm just saying because I know sometimes like when you speak of these things, it's almost as if you sort of regret these things, and I don't. Not necessarily the we're like, oh my god, I fucking but it's still a bit of you that's just kind of like I wonder what if, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, from how you speak to me about things, I kind of had to give it back to you because that's exactly what you tell me to do. It's, like, whatever. Things happen for a reason and you still have so much time. You are still so goddamn young. Like, Jesus Christ.
I'm not that much younger than you.
Yeah, you are.
You're
like, what, 5 years younger?
Yeah.
That's young. You're not even 30 yet. You are still a baby.
I'm getting there.
It's okay. By the time you get there, it'll be great. Anyway, my point was, I think your self-love really saved you from a lot of drama, to be honest.
Oh yeah, but I run away from drama. I think that's why I didn't have that many girlfriends, because I just wanted to avoid drama.
Yeah. That's that's insane. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like from coming from somebody who
I love hearing about drama. I just don't want to be part of it.
Right. You want to hear the tea, but you don't necessarily want to be the one to be stirred up in it, and that is totally understandable. Now, so how long have you been dating Chris for?
14 years. It's so crazy. Like, whenever anyone asks, like, introduce yourself and tell us a fun fact, I can't think of anything other than, like, well, I've been dating my partner for 14 years. And everyone's like, oh my god. Yeah, I know, it's wild. We started dating in grade 8.
Oh my god.
Grade 8. So I feel like I do have to give my partner Chris a lot of credit for probably, like, the happiness of my life or the self-love, because maybe I didn't need to seek friends because I had him. Like, he was my best friend, you know?
That's amazing. I'm gonna cry because I wish everybody had this kind of thing, especially me. But I'm just so happy to hear that it's not just in the movies.
It's not, like, what we have though isn't like a fairy tale. I wouldn't say we're soulmates. We're not twin flames. Like, we're just two people that started off as such great friends and, like, built that solid foundation. Like, he's my ride or die person, but we're not that, like, fiery, passionate love type of couple.
But it's like what people say, right? Fire and passion. Fire burns real fast, right? The stronger the fire is, the faster it burns out, right? And I think a lot of people tend to look for that whole, like, oh, I want it to be like a really passionate love affair, not realizing that, well, I mean, it'll last for like 5 minutes, like the stuff like that, and it's a lot of work, right, to like maintain the things that you have, right? And I actually, hearing about your stories, it's nice to know that it's not like a fairy tale thing. That's why I say it's not just in the movies. Like, it is like a movie, right, where there is a happy ever after, but it's not like the movies, because movies don't really show the hard work that people have put in order to maintain a strong foundation for the relationship, right? And that's something that you and Chris were able to do magnificently, like, it's a lot of people like to look for people who are like them, thinking that it's because that's their soulmate, like the same things. And even for me, like, when I dated my ex, people were like, you guys are so different. Why? And I'm just kind of like, why do I want to date me? Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, like, I'll be so annoyed.
Yeah.
Hear somebody else singing, like, shut up, like, I'm singing, like, and, unfortunately it didn't work out, but, again, that's not my issue with my own self-love, right? And I really feel like that is a testament to why you guys are still as strong as ever, because that's one less thing to deal with. Imagine having two people who don't love themselves get thrown into each other and love each other, but have no love for themselves. It is a recipe for disaster. My ex, he loved himself.
Oh,
and
really?
Yes. And, like, there's always been something that was admirable. And that's something that gave me self-esteem issues, because I've always said, how could I give love to somebody who already loves themselves when I can't even love myself back?
I know everyone says that, but it's actually true.
Yeah. I mean, it's rough. It's really rough. And I think this is why I really wanted to do this episode, because I want people to understand there are a lot of people out there that were like me, who tend to blame others for their mishaps in relationships, But not once did they try to actually look inside themselves and ask themselves. I'm not saying you guys should be like, what's wrong with me? But it's more so, how can I make myself happier without needing other people?
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like people like me, or people like us, who tend to not have as much self-love, we always try to ask, how can we make this person happy so they'll never leave us? What?
No, that's the wrong way.
Right? There you go. That's exactly it. And yeah, and you know, for the longest time, for what? I am turning 33 in July. And I have always been like this, even with friends. It's not just romantic relationships, you know? Like, even with the friends I have. I remember in high school, I didn't have many friends because I've always wanted to maintain a lot of friends. And I remember this. I honestly, if you guys met me in high school, I apologize. That's all I'm going to say. I am so sorry you met me in high school.
Why?
I was not the same person. Like, I was terrible.
Really?
I sold people secrets to get more friends. I was that kind of guy. I was weird. I was like, you know, I was raised on TV, and on TV, what was on TV? It's like people like wants to be popular and shit. It was bad. It was really bad. So, yeah. Point was, I thought, oh well, if I knew everybody's secret and I told people this and that and this and that, you know, like I'd be so popular, people want to talk to me all the time. LOL.
What the hell?
What the fuck? Kind of logic is that, Steven? So I was literally friendless for a bit. And I say friendless because there were people who, despite all that, actually tried to reach out to me, you know, and tried to be my friend. But I just felt so jaded by everything that I had done. And at that point, I was like, they're going to be so unhappy being my friend. Because I fucking hate myself.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's when it all began to kind of, it began earlier, but that's when it all really started to fall apart, my self-love, right? And I haven't found it until literally a few months ago, or like last year when I went crazy. Like, up until then, I did not love myself, and now I'm slowly starting to really give myself a break, and really understand that, oh shit, girl, you gotta love yourself, because...
Yeah. Honestly, let that go. Like, that was a former you. Yeah, don't think about it. It's good that you've reflected on it, but think about what you love about yourself now. Like, put that to the past.
See, I like that. See, this, you know what? Steph should be on my show all the time because she actually gives me advice on things I talk about. No offense to all my guests. I love you all. I know that I designed this show so that my guests can actually vent about themselves. But, you know, sometimes it's nice to hear advice from other people. So thanks, Steph. Thank you. Thank you for that. Oh, man. Holy shit. We are running out of time. Oh, my God. I feel like I can do this with you for, like, ever. Before we go, though, what is the one thing that you want to tell people? To people who find it hard to actually love themselves, find it hard to be proud of themselves, find it hard to be happy with who they are and what they have. What?
Love yourself, bitch!
Oh my God, here I am thinking she was gonna do some, like, you know, like monologue, like Academy Award nominated fucking speech, and she fucking says, love yourself. Okay.
Love yourself. Like, you're a good fucking person, and now exude that out to the world.
I like that. Short, simple, sweet, to the point, and honestly super honest. Because that is so fucking true. And this is why I'm learning how to love myself. Because some people, it's so effortless for them to be good to other people. And for me, I'm not saying I'm a terrible person, that's why it's hard for me to be good to other people, but I had to go through literal hell just to be able to learn some compassion. And to learn that, holy shit, because I didn't love myself, I gave off that vibe that I didn't love anybody else. And that was, I think that hurt me more. Knowing that I might have made somebody feel a certain type of way about themselves because I was projecting. damn. The lessons that we learned from our friends. Stephanie, thank you so much. I feel like I talked most of this fucking... I'm so sorry.
I'm not talkative. I'm a really quiet person.
Here I am all like, oh my god, talk about your... Oh my god, but guess what? This is what happened to me. But thank you so much. Honestly, we're going to have you back here because we have a lot of things to talk about other than self-love, which you have clearly mastered. Actually, you know what? Before we go, I know I'm like cutting it like so close, but has there ever been situations in which your self-love was kind of tested at all? Or maybe not tested, but it's kind of like you felt like maybe like an intrusion of some sorts within your self-esteem that other people might have brought.
Well, my boyfriend calls me big girl. Okay, honestly, you guys, I'm the biggest I've ever been right now. And like, I tried doing a Chloe Ting workout the other night, and I could not keep up. My body was in shock. She kept going, and I just was lying down on my mat. And my boyfriend came, and he was dying of laughter, and he like took pictures of me. It's so funny.
I'm dead.
But like, still, like that doesn't break me at all.
I'm glad.
Yeah, and I wish like everyone could love themselves enough where like even if someone is calling you names like big girl and like yo your double chin is so big like that just bounces off like a boomerang. Like nothing can touch me. Like you really need to work on your mind as much as you work on your body and like be like Buddha. Like nothing can disturb your peace. You know what I mean?
I like that advice a lot. Well, thank you so much, Steph, again. I really hope that you guys learned something from this podcast episode. Thank you so much. This is Breaking Down the Breakdown with Steven Diego and Steph. If you have... Oh my god, your Scarborough showing. If you have any questions for Steph or myself, or if you just want to reach out to us about self-love and, you know, kind of helping you guys navigate through all of this, you can email me at stephendiego@hotmail.com. That's stephendiego@hotmail.com. We will be back next time. I promise. There is something huge I want to talk about. An issue that is affecting all of us during COVID times. Lockdowns? Oh, you bet. But something else. So, guys, stay tuned. I love y'all. Remember, be compassionate, love other people, but most importantly, like what Steph says, say it, Steph.
What is it?
Oh my fucking god, your fucking slogan. What are you telling everybody to do?
Love yourself, bitches.
There you go. There you have it. Good night, guys, or good morning.